Hello, everyone. I'm Clay Jenkinson, and I'm out listening to America. I'm now at the Three Forks, at the town of Three Forks, Montana. And this is where the three main tributary streams that form the Missouri come together. The river you see below is the Gallatin, which was named for the Secretary of the Treasury, French-speaking Swiss-born Albert Gallatin, who, by the way, was one of the nation's earliest experts on Native American language taxonomy, on the classification of languages. Like Jefferson, he was fascinated by this, partly because he wanted to know the origin story of natives. And if you could see that certain tribes shared language groups, you could begin to sort out the great migrations. And there was hope that in collecting all these vocabularies and comparing them, we might also be able to know something about how they crossed the Bering Land Bridge. Now, many native cultures say they've always been here and that the Bering Sea story does not work. It's not true. This is science versus another kind of truth, and there are many kinds of truth. At any rate, that's the Gallatin, and just over there is the Madison, named after James Madison, Thomas Jefferson's closest ally, arguably best friend, Secretary of State, and then became the fourth president of the United States once Jefferson retired in 1809. And then over here is the Jefferson River, named after, of course, the illustrious third president of the United States, the patron of the Lewis and Clark expedition, the mentor of Meriwether Lewis. Lewis lived with Jefferson for more than 2 years in the White House before he began his historic tour. So the three rivers come together, not in the kind of precise triangle you might hope, but very nearly so. This is Fort Rock. Lewis is said to have climbed up here to get a sense of the country, and what he saw was, oh my, rivers going in several directions. He said, that one, the Jefferson, is the one that's going to get me closest to what I need to do to get to the source and climb over into waters of the Salmon, Snake, Clearwater, Columbia, and so on. He was right. Of the three, that's the one that you want to take if you're going to the Pacific coast. The Madison and the Gallatin have their sources down in Yellowstone National Park. He did follow the Jefferson and eventually came to a place right at Lemhi Pass where he could bestride the Missouri River, more than a mile wide in St. Louis. And here he could bestride it with his legs. He said 2 miles below McNeil, one of his men stood with one foot on either side of this little rivulet and thanked his God that he had lived to bestride the mighty and heretofore deemed endless Missouri River.